they're getting close. A lot of people are being killed. We got to get it done.
Just hours ago at Davos, U.S. President Donald Trump made a bold claim that the Russia-Ukraine war, now nearing its fourth year, could end very soon.
We'll be discussing it. We're meeting with President Putin today or tomorrow, and some people are going over, and I think they're getting close. A lot of people are being killed. We got to get it done. If we don't get that done, it would be
Calling it the worst conflict since World War II, Trump said the talks are making a lot of progress and that a deal is reasonably close. But how close is close, really? Let's break it down. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos on January 21st, Trump described the war as horrible, pointing to the massive loss of life on both sides. He said Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky are now at a point where they can come together and get a deal done. And he warned, failing to do so would be stupid. Davos has suddenly become more than just a business summit. It is now a diplomatic battleground. Trump used this stage to push his new Board of Peace, an international body aimed at ending global conflicts, and Ukraine is its biggest test case. On January 22nd, Trump met Zelensky face-to-face. At the same time, U.S. envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner headed to Moscow to speak directly with Putin. Witkoff claimed the negotiations are now down to one issue, likely territory. That one issue is everything. Putin's response, however, has been mixed. The Kremlin praised Trump's peacemaking efforts but stopped short of backing any deal. Moscow is still demanding recognition of occupied territories, no NATO troops in Ukraine, and long-term limits on Ukraine's military. In other words, Russia's core demands have not changed. So is Trump really close to ending the war, or is this political optimism? Trump has applied pressure on both sides, pushing Kyiv to be flexible and warning Moscow with sanctions and asset seizures. Zelensky says a U.S. peace plan is 90% ready, but the final 10% involves Donbas, Crimea, and security guarantees. Those are the hardest parts. For Ukraine, peace may come at a high cost, potentially losing up to 20% of its territory, no NATO membership, limits on its army, and painful compromises on sovereignty. Experts warn, a land for peace deal could freeze the war, not end it. So where does that leave us? Close in words, close in diplomacy, but still far in reality. The world is watching Davos because what happens here could decide not just Ukraine's future, but whether territorial conquest becomes normal again. And that is the real stakes of this moment.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.